Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome! This is HD StarCraft, and it's time for another Heart of the Swarm matchup. Today I'm proud to present to you guys some new players. I'm always trying to rotate in and find new people who want to go ahead and throw themselves up for the public viewing, for the public showing. And we've got some great new players today. On one side of the map here, biggest map in Heart of the Swarm currently, we have the Red Terran player. And I've actually known this guy for a little bit. I used to play some StarCraft 2 with him back in Wings of Liberty. Oh man, it's been so long since Wings of Liberty. But yeah, we used to play a few games together. I knew him more during the beta. And I'm really happy to know that he's practicing a lot of Heart of the Swarm, because here he is, and he is the Red Terran. His name is Captain Waffles. And I love waffles, man. I love waffles as in I love waffles as a breakfast. Not like I have man love for you too, man, but not in that way. Just saying. His opponent is going to be the Blue Protoss player, and both of these guys are Grandmaster, which I know it doesn't really say that much in Heart of the Swarm, because let's be honest with ourselves here, there isn't that many people playing Heart of the Swarm, so the whole MMR thing, the whole ladder thing is kind of borked. But I can promise you guys that Captain Waffles in Wings of Liberty was a very high Masters player. I think he might have went into GM a few times. I'm not entirely sure. But his opponent here is going to be Lavendo, and for what I know, he is also a very high Masters player. So this should be pretty exciting. We're going to find out here how a Terran versus Protoss is going to go down between two players that are pretty high level. And I've actually been gassing a lot of TVPs now that I come to think of it. Did some games with Whiterun, did some games with Morrow already. I don't know if I did a Terran versus Protoss with Morrow, but I know I've been gassing a lot of TVPs, so I'll try to get some more Zerg matchups in following this for Heart of the Swarm. And of course, I'm still going to be doing Wings of Liberty, guys. I haven't abandoned it. I just haven't had an opportunity to really do any wall matchups, because people lately have just been sending me like a stream of replays, and you know what? More replays the better. And of course, this is recent as of patch 6. So, you know, I think you guys prefer to see Heart of the Storm, at least for now. It's new, it's fresh, it's exciting. And what is this SCB going to be doing here, man? It is going off just scouting purpose, I think. So, but he already saw the Blue Protoss player. That's what I thought. So I don't know what... Is Waffles going to try to ninja expand here? I think he is. He's saving up 400 right now. Ninja mode, go CC. And there it is. So Captain Waffles gonna go ahead and throw down a ninja command center in the most desolate location you could imagine. This is not going to be scouted, and you know, the only time when the Protoss is ever going to come close to seeing this base is when the game is like 30 to 40 minutes in and the Protoss needs to expand this far down. So that's going to be a pretty nice location for Captain Waffles, but of course he is now extremely exposed to any type of aggression. But the beauty of it is, on this map, you know, I played a lot of Heart of the Swarm already on this particular huge map. I think it's called Core Hall something, Core Hall City or something like that. And I know for a fact that it's such a big map with the in-base expansion, you almost never see early aggression. And that's the thing about that is, if you're never going to see early aggression, then why not just be extra greedy and throw down a CC2? So I kind of like where Waffles is going with this. But look at this, man. We have got a Stargate coming out here. And let's not forget what happened to Morrow in the very last game I casted. He had some problems with the Tempest. And, you know, this map has, well, let's just say a lot of open space behind the mineral lines here. So, you know, if Lavendo wants to go ahead and go for a Tempest, I don't see... Oh, and he's going to get the Observer, too. At least the robotics. And this looks very identical to what we saw Morrow's opponent do. And, oh, he's going to go for an Oracle, so no Tempest. Now, the Comsat can kind of see what's going on in there, and you can tell, okay, then that's definitely not a Tempest. You can see the outline of the unit. It's the only building that shows what is constructing in StarCraft 2. And so, at this point, I guess Waffles is going to be pretty... you know, excited. Excited is the wrong word, but pretty happy to know that it isn't going to be a Tempest, because let's be honest here, guys. If a Tempest came out right now, it would just be very, very hard for Waffles to stop. Does he have a starport coming? No, he doesn't. So he isn't going to have any way to deal with any air unit that comes out of the Stargate here. Except for his Marines, obviously. But we'll see what happens, man. Oracle number 1 is on the way, and it's making its way around the back of the natural, but there are Marines there. Now, the Oracle has enough speed and HP that it can dart in here and drop an Entomb field, but I think what Lavendo is going to do here is wait until there's more saturation, because if he drops an Entomb right now, it's going to do some economic damage, but there's already Marines there, and it's really not blocking that many SCVs. So I like what he did there. He just ran in and said, I'll wait. You know, I'll save that energy and wait for a better time. Waffles still mining away over here on this bottom expansion. We finally have Lavendo going for a third Nexus. He has no idea that there's a Ninja Expo here. He's sending an Oracle down, though. Oracle number 2 on the way. But it will not see this command center. So as of this moment, this is a black operation. And Lavendo, you know, police trying to come around, trying to find the black ops, but they won't see it for now. So I wonder where the Mothership Core is. I actually haven't seen a Mothership Core from Lavendo yet. He's completely skipped the Mothership Core, which is interesting. And he did go ahead and drop an Entomb field inside the natural. But like I said before, there are Marines here. A little bit of lost mining. Wrong tab there. A little bit of lost mining, but not much. And we'll see when this second Oracle comes in and they're both going in and dropping Entombs. That's when it can start to hurt the Terran a little bit. And to be totally honest with you guys, when Protoss goes Oracle, it usually means that they're extremely vulnerable to any type of aggression. Look at his front door right now. He has nothing. But the only reason why Waffles can't attack is because Waffles was even greedier, and he went for a third CC. So it's like both these players, well, the Terran has gone super greedy mode, and the Protoss went for harass mode. And it seems like it's kind of evening out. The Oracle harass has kind of set Waffles back a little bit. At least it has negated the benefit of this third base, and now both players are on 3 bases, so things are looking pretty even here, despite Waffles going for that Ninja expansion. We do have Robotics Bay on the way, so gonna see some Colossus pretty soon. Another Entomb gets dropped down. That Widowmine is not close enough for the detonation on that Oracle, and now we have a missile turret coming up, so he really wants to make sure that he gets rid or at least prevents the Oracle from coming in for those harass maneuvers. And these Hellions, I don't know where they're going, just running right across some Colossus. That's I guess they're giving good scouting information for Waffles, who now knows that there are Colossus on the field. And Entomb field up at the natural is going to be destroyed as well. So a little bit of lost mining time, but nothing too serious. And with missile turrets now and Marines, I doubt these Oracles will be able to do much more. But the nice thing, wow, Waffles has a lot of tanks, so he is really rocking full-on mech here, ladies and gentlemen. And he's got +1/+1 coming up from that armory. So this is a mass siege tank Widowmine build. You don't see this in StarCraft Wings of Liberty, obviously, because, you know, mech kind of sucks against Protoss. But in StarCraft 2, mech is extremely viable. And when that transformation servos upgrade completes, these Hellions can go into Hellbat mode, making them super strong against charge lots, which does seem to be on that production tab for Lavendo. So he has it on the to-do list, but you know, Hellbat's kind of shut that down. We'll see what happens. We do have movement here from Waffles, who's looking to make a strike here, or at least set up a contain outside the Protoss base. More charge shots coming in right here from Lavendo. Lavendo's got to be careful, though. There's Widow Mines there. Oh, my God. All the tragedy. Lavendo just lost all of his sentries and some stalkers as well for free, for nothing. And the siege tanks just kind of cleaned up the trash that remained. Waffles could not be any happier with the results of that last fight. And Lavendo now needs more units. He can't let Terran set up a contain. These Zealots are going to go in. And the Widow Mines still aren't ready to detonate yet. So the Zealots will come up in here despite not having charge. But the Widow Mines and the Colossus. Oh my God. Colossus going down for free right there. And this is where you need an observer if you're Protoss. I don't know why Lavendo doesn't have an ops next to his army. He has one on the field somewhere. Looks like he's continuing to drop Entombs wherever possible. Very nice job with the Entombs so far. And the observer is just... it's in no man's land. I don't know what this observer is doing. It's certainly not observing anything. That's for sure. And the Mine's trying to go forward. I guess Waffles trying to get a little bit of a strike there, but will not be successful as the Mines finally die. But those 4 Mines did, you know, a very, very good job, to say the least. We have a couple of Hellions coming in around the back of the Protoss minerals here. Not too many workers have gone down this game, but those Blue Flame Hellions looking to change that. A lot of probes in the red, but nothing too serious. Oracle still dropping the Entombs and really being annoying for Waffles here, who basically most of his actual mining is coming from the 3rd CC, not from the ones inside of his base, as he does claim a 4th one. Alright, well, you know, Waffles is looking still pretty good, and so is Lavendo. I've got to say, even though Lavendo lost a good chunk of his units to Widow Mines, and it seemed like things were looking really bad for him, these Oracles so far, oh, look at that, once again, just getting another Entomb off. These Oracles have basically been keeping him in the game. It looks like the Oracle down south did die to a Viking, so... no, it didn't die to the Viking. I'm not too sure what it died to. Oracle up here at the top will probably end up dying to this Viking up here. Protoss moving in through the middle of the map, though. A lot of siege tanks sieging up, and no, the Hellbats are here, so Chargelots have very difficult time busting through Hellbats as the Templar come in for Storm. But now without any fodder units left, Colossus cannot beat siege tanks. It is not, it just doesn't work because siege tanks have more range than a Colossus does. So if you don't have fodder units underneath, like charge lots, then you cannot push against a Terran with siege tank mech. It's just not a viable possibility. And so Waffles here doing a good job holding in the middle of the map. A lot of aggressive pushing, I think, from both players, but so far neither side has overcommitted and made the fatal mistake of losing all their units and then having to try to catch back up in this game. Right now things are very, very close. And that Oracle is still chilling back there. I'd love to see what the upgrades are looking at right now. 2-2 for Mech. No 3-3 on the way yet, but 3-3 is finishing up for Protoss. Still doesn't know. He still doesn't know about the Black Ops going on over here. There's a black market of SCVs and 1 meal here. Not to mention the gas being funneled back home for the Terran player. Lavendo needs to send this OBS that is not an OBS to go over here and actually do some observatory work. This just what a shame of an observer right there. He belongs in the Observatory Hall of Shame. I don't know what's going on with that, but Lavendo is gonna, it looks like he's gonna try to set up in the middle of the map here, but that's a lot of tanks, man. I don't know about this. The tanks are not sieged though. Now finally sieging up just a bit late. Now the Battle Hellions will have to do a good job here protecting the siege tanks, and I don't know if Waffles has enough. There's too many charge lots and Archons, and they will bust through the tank line. Now Waffles only has a planetary fortress left to hold the line. A lot of SCVs going down here. 14 have gone down already, and now the planetary fortress will fall. 1 Colossus dies, but that was a great play by Lavendo, sniffing out a Terran weakness there, realizing that there was an opportunity to push as the tanks were unsieged, and he just got the jump, you know, that quick reactive jump, got half of the siege tanks range closed in, and then by then the tanks had sieged up, but it was already too late. The charge lots were almost there in the face of the tanks, and now it looks like Waffles is going to end up losing 2 bases as a result of Lavendo's aggression, and a very nice play by the Blue Protoss player. Might even end up, yeah, he looks like he was able to kill off a total of 29 workers, putting the Terran down to 53. Orbital Command is going to survive because it does have the capability of lifting off. And look at this, jokes. Lavendo has a Nexus coming up, and look, it's literally 2 or 3 screens away, 2 screens about, from Captain Waffles' Ninja expansion. Meanwhile, a couple of Battle Hellions, or excuse me, Hellions coming in to try to run by, but a great warp in by Lavendo. And now Storms, oh, predictive storm there, but Captain Waffles takes a short pit stop and ends up working out pretty well for him. That's like those movie scenes where the guy kind of ducks down to pick up the handkerchief or something, and then the bullet whizzes by where he once was. So I think Waffles kind of did that on accident, but it ended up working pretty well for him, although the Hellions did die anyways. Zealot's coming over here to make sure that the OBS is doing its job, and then the OBS is like, oh crap, I gotta go back to work. And so it looks like now finally Lavendo realizes, oh, I have an observer, so let's go ahead and make something happen with that. Lavendo still doesn't know about the ninja expansion. He's just making pylons just the edge away from the base. And oh my god, look at all the tanks from Waffles. Oh! Those Zealots and Archons definitely do not want to cross no man's land right here. This area is officially designated no man's land. Now Waffles looking to leapfrog his tanks up a little bit more and gain some more breathing room, because honestly right now he's only on 3 bases. 1, 2, well this one's not mining, so you know, he's on like 3 to 4, but the Protoss is on 5, so that's not good for Waffles. He needs to push out and make something happen. And we have 4 Stargates coming with a fleet beacon and air weapons, and that can only mean Tempest or carriers, one or the other, and I think it's going to be carriers. Finally, the ninja expansion have been found. The police are here. They're raiding the black market, and Waffles is going to try to make a run for it. Have you never seen cops, man? You don't run away from the cops. It never turns out pretty well. You always get caught. Although it looks like maybe these SCVs will make it out of there. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see if the Zealots call for reinforcements, or maybe Lavendo is going to send these units off on their own little mission here. Although this is no small mission. This is a huge commitment. Oh, he just takes splash like crazy from the tanks and the mines, and he ends up losing a lot of his charge lots there. And the SCVs are gonna make it away. All those charge lots are done for. The gangsters coming to save the the SCVs, the gangster Hellbats, and looks like Captain Waffles there doing a pretty good job of holding off the charge lots. Although this base has finally been killed off, but I think Captain Waffles made more than good on the initial investment. He mined almost everything out of here. There's nothing left. This is like the apocalyptic world, Earth in, you know, 2100, 50, 60, 70, 80 years from now. Not gonna have any more natural resources there. So Captain Waffle is doing a good job mining money, but the ultimate Protoss weapon of war is on the way. We have carriers coming out here, and still no mothership core. I was gonna say maybe the ultimate weapon of war is a mothership, but I don't see a mothership core, so forget that. And here we go, man, big attack. A lot of tanks and battle Hellbats, excuse me. Captain Waffles just up in the front. And I don't know, man, tanks, Hellbats, battle Hellions, whatever you want to call them. And look at that, the medevacs healing the Hellbats because, you know, they're considered biological somehow when they transform. I guess the dude driving the Hellion just somehow cybernetically infuses with the car, and then wouldn't that be cool if you could buy a car that can cybernetically infuse with you, then you become a Hellbat? Anyways, they are being healed by the medevacs, but the carriers are here, and there isn't much anti-air except for a small squadron of Vikings. I don't think this is going to be enough. Meanwhile, not much going on there, but these carriers will be able to eventually push away all the tanks. What a tech switch by Lavendo, calling in for the carrier reinforcement just in the nick of time. And you couldn't have asked for a better unit right now because there's no anti-air on the field. And what is Captain Waffles going to do to deal with this? He's actually making mines. I actually don't think mines are very good against carriers. In fact, if you, sometimes the carriers can end up detonating the mines on your own army, and I know it's not that much damage, like 40 splash, but it's still damage nevertheless. The mines almost never hit the actual carrier, so I don't know about going for mines, but he has a lot here, and there's still no observer! Where is Lavendo's observer? Oh no, he ends up losing his ground troops, and carriers say, well, we're pretty baller, but I don't know if we're that baller. I don't think we're going to go into this army without ground support. Meanwhile, a photon cannon comes in here. Talk about ground support. That's going to push away this orbital command. He's going to have to go find a new spot to call home. And these Zealots are going to make sure that doesn't happen. So it looks like Lavendo's starting to expand rapidly across the map and taking control of the ground and the economy. And, you know, both players' army supplies very identical right now. 143, 161. It's pretty much right there on the dot. All the tabs looking extremely close, and I do feel like the longer this goes on, the better shape Lavendo's gonna be in, because he's got that extra base down here, and he can certainly claim this base as well. I'm surprised he hasn't yet. A couple of Zealots going on minesweeping duty, but didn't you know Zealots can't play Minesweeper? They don't have any fingers. They only have side blades. Doesn't work. Can't play on the keyboard. Lavendo comes in, and it looks like he, instead of playing Minesweeper, is going to go for SEV kills. That's what they thrive at. And It looks like he'll be able to kill off a couple. 47 workers killed for the Protoss so far. That's actually pretty damn high. So Lavendo's been doing a good job of harassing this game, and you know, that on top of the Oracle harass, it really has kept CaptWaffles, you know, on the back foot economically. But the game is still so close right now, it's hard to say who's ahead. A couple of Zealots here trying to, I don't know what they're trying to do. They're gonna die, so there goes those Zealots. Maybe they'll become Dragoons someday in Legacy of the Void. And we have ship weapons coming right now from both players. Ship upgrades. Protoss Air level 2. The shields is already at level 2, so you know, carriers are pretty heavily upgraded, but the Vikings are starting to catch up as well. Could this game actually evolve into some type of late game air versus air, heart of the swarm battle? And really, I guess in air versus air, the only real change in Heart of the Swarm is the Tempest, and that's about it. But could that be the case? Because, you know, if Terran goes for battlecruisers, Tempests are wildly effective against that with the plus bonus damage to massive. I don't know, just kind of speculating right now. Lavendo gonna go finally get that expansion. A couple of Zealots meeting up with the Hellions. They're gonna take out that Hellion squad. One does leak down into this expansion. Potentially gonna, I don't know, we'll see what happens there, but a couple of Zealots also trying to go for that harass one more time. They're just gonna leak on by the Widow Mines. Someone's gonna tell those mines to burrow. And these Zealots could take out quite a few SCVs since they're equipped with charge and +3 weapons. It doesn't take much for SCVs to go down to this, and there we go. More SCV kills right now, up to 58 already, and it looks like CaptWaffles has had enough, man. He's moving out with a lot of Widow Mines and Vikings. I don't know if Lavendo's got enough to deal with this type of army. Look at the Viking fleet compared to the carriers, but that's why he's got Storm. Oh, but Waffles dodges both Storms very nicely there. And you know, if you're gonna back up your carriers with Storm, you better have absolutely perfect precision micro with the Side Storm and be able to predict, you know, where the Vikings go. It's very hard to do. What is this Thor doing? Thor is not here, and it's gonna die. Also, Waffles needs to be careful. Those interceptors, if they fly in and drag the mines over his tanks, that could be just the worst thing ever. We'll see what happens. He really doesn't want to keep the mines underneath the tanks or anywhere nearby. He wants to keep them in the front. And it looks like he is moving out right now. These are two very weird Protoss and Terran armies. You don't see this every day. And what is going to happen? All the interceptors have burrowed down. They stay away from the tanks. Very good decision there. And now the mine's starting to detonate. And it looks like they're going to hit the carriers as the interceptors had not come out yet. That works well for Waffles, who will take control of the skies. He has enough Vikings to do it, I believe. Maybe not, actually. But those reinforcements are running across a minefield. Oh my god. That did not work out too well, but it's okay because Lavendo's got enough carriers here to kill off the rest of the tanks. And both armies trading crazily there. Oh, the Widow Mines just ended up detonating on the tanks. That's exactly what I was talking about, but it's okay because Waffles just killed off the rest of the carriers. So no more carriers he's got to worry about, and that worked out pretty well. Now trying to drag the Zealots back into the minefield. Oh my god, those mines are so good. And don't forget, they have +3 weapons, so they don't mess around. I actually don't know how much damage they do when they get upgraded with weapons. Do they even share weapons upgrades? Maybe they don't, actually. So, alright. Here we go, man. In the middle of the map, a couple of Zealots. The lingering remains of that Protoss push is going to be cleaned up. Both armies now trying to remax. It looks like Waffles is just doing a much better job of remaxing than his Protoss opponent is, and you know why that is? It's the Widow Mine. A very similar concept with the Swarm Host, a unit that does free damage essentially, and Lavendo just kept throwing in his reinforcements into nothing basically, for trading for nothing, and as a result now, CaptWaffles has taken a huge lead in supply. The power of units like Widow Mines and Swarm Hosts, you know, Brood Lords, those type of units in the late game, that's why they're so strong, because they constantly cause free types of damage, and here we go, man, those Hellions are just going in for the kill. They're going in for the kill, and a lot of them ended up dying, but it's okay, they took out a lot of probes there. 64 to 39. So finally, Waffles returns some of the probe harass back to the Protoss player, and now this is it, man. Will the blue Protoss have enough to hold on? Lavendo is on the edge of defeat here, I feel like. He might have more bases, but he doesn't have enough reinforcements. Every time he brings out more units, they just die to Widow Mines, and it looks like he's going to try to go for Dark Shrine here. As presumably, he might think that they can get past the mines, but that's actually not true. No, okay, he's just making DTs so he can make cheaper versions of Archons, because he actually has not as much gas as he has minerals. So that's a smart idea. Archons can move in and take a couple of hits from the mines, but this is not boding well for Lavendo, who keeps just losing units for free. Oh my god, the mines are just so good. And now Waffles just continuing to march forward, really with not much of an army, it's just a minefield, and dragging the units back into the mines. And he's got to be careful, though. Those Widow Mines do splash to his army, but, you know, 40 compared to 160, the splash is pretty much negligible, especially on a Thor. But Lavendo finally has enough here to clean up the tanks. This is... Look at that Zealot, man. He is in no man's land right now. He has nowhere to go, except he's got one direction, but pretty much he's stuck on a peninsula right now. One Thor rando. Thor almost kills off the Nexus. Holy crap. It looks like a couple of DTs were able to save it at the very last second. That Nexus was literally 2 or 3 shots away from dying. So it looks like, you know, Waffles will send out a backup squad here to finish up what he almost got. And will he be able to clean up or not? I think so, man. Just, you know, standard Hellions should be more than enough to kill not only the Nexus, but also the probes. You know, probably go for the probes first and let the splash do the rest of the work. And that's not good for Lavendo. He's starting to really fall behind in this game. But, you know, what an incredible match. I think at the end of the day, it really came down to the power of the mines. It's a unit that costs 75-25, but it, you know, it just constantly spawns a wave of damage, and really the only way for Protoss to deal with this is they need air. I really feel like if he had made some Tempests out of these Stargates, he's got a bunch at home, or just kept making carriers and keeping his distance, he could have killed off these Widow Mines. But now look at this, he's got mines going up into his army, and that's not what you want to do as what you want to be in, not this kind of situation as Protoss. Most definitely not. And oh god, now he's just, yeah, now he's just losing units left and right. And I guess a couple of DTs were able to harass this command center down to the bottom right, but it's kind of a small consolation at this point, I feel like, for the blue Protoss player, who, you know, right now is at 71 supply. He has no production at all. He has no mining bases. I think that, you know, barring a miracle right now, Lavendo just basically lost this game. I mean, he just got brute forced by mines, and he's just continuing to warp in units. I mean, at some point you've got to realize, I can't fight against mines with ground troops. Not this many mines, at least, and he's completely cornered in. He's stuck in jail right now, and he doesn't have a get out of jail free card. And what is he going to do, man? I don't know, man. He can't afford to make Tempests or carriers. And this next push from Waffles is going to look, I think, to end the game. Although, I think Lavendo is sticking in here because he's clinging on to Dark Templar Hope. But even Widow Mine shut that down. Widow Mines are like the Swiss Army knife, man. They're the jack of all trades. They have detection, they burrow, they do splash, they do great massive AoE single target, they're cheap, and look at the storms. Oh, the storms are really good, but not enough. And Lavendo leaves the game. Great matchup with MMO's ownage HDreplays here. Pioneering a champion matchup, pioneering a win here in this great matchup. Hope you guys enjoyed. That was absolutely fantastic. And up until the last few minutes, a very, very close game, but I guess just kind of shows how really deadly the Widow Mines are. That is just almost unfair. I don't know, man. These are so good. I'm not trying to say anything. I'm not trying to say the Ember or anything like that. I'm just saying they're really, really good in the context of this matchup that we just watched. Anyways, guys, this is HD StarCraft. I have more videos coming out. I'm gonna try to make a couple of videos a day from here until I don't know, for a while. We'll see if I can stick on this schedule. And you know, as long as HOTS replays and I can find some good Wings of Liberty matchups keep coming, you know, I'll be able to do that. Hope you guys enjoyed, and check me out. I'm at YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at HD StarCraft. I'll see you guys in the next cast, and this is HD StarCraft signing out.